All right, guys, let's get this party started. Um, just trying to walk through this right here. A couple things that we got going on. I'm trying to make sure I try to address things before they get too far gone. One thing I'm looking at the nails. Um, it's 2 3/8, it's 3 inch. So I'm gonna, I got some more nails. I always just try to, guys, I try to ration out the nails. So these guys are just not, you don't want them taking nails to other job sites, things like that. You want to kind of, you know, so you got to ration them out, man. You don't want them shooting too many nails, and you don't want them not shooting enough, because they use those nail guns now, and a lot of times those nail guns you don't even know whether or not you hit, because those nails shoot up. Sometimes that's why you got to really check, guys. A lot of times, like I get a situation like this right here, got a little nail sticking out right there. That nail should be going in wood. And so that's why I had the rest of them are, but that's why I had to come in. I had to check these guys to make sure they're getting the right amount of nails in here. Also, there's another thing that I typically leave the nails. I leave the house wrap off. I don't put the house wrap on until we finish framing this bad boy. And I have the girl to come out and she put the house wrap on, because there's a lot of things going on in this house wrap. Now this right here's done pretty good. These guys done this pretty good. You don't want to countersink the nails too much. I mean, this is really good the way they got those nails. And then you got to have it needs to be flat with the OSB. Then you got to make sure you have enough. Now, if you countersink them like this right here, this one is countersunk, well, you got to put 2 of them there. You got to put 2 of them. That's what the code requires you to do. There is so on splices. So if you got a splice, trying to find where 2 boards are buttoned up with each other. So guys, and you can check the code on this right here. So when you have a splice like this right here, you want to have nails going up on this thing 6 inches on center. But where you have it and there is no splice, you can do them 12 inches on center. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at little things like that, guys. I'm also looking at, like, here's another thing that I just saw. I'm glad I caught it. So these are things that we gotta make sure we address. If you look at this window right here, they dropped this window down, but they based it on the bottom. We had to, because of the way the terrain is and the elevations on this job site. So the elevation is such that we couldn't have this right here, this main level garage, and typically you're not gonna ever have it like this right here, where you walk straight from the main level garage straight into the straight into the house. You're not gonna ever have it like that, guys. It's not gonna happen. In most cases, there are situations where I kind of got about 4 inches, want about 4 inches sometime, man, but you're not gonna ever have it like that. So you're gonna have a step or 2 that's going into the main level, into the main area of the house, coming from the main level garage. And that's really gonna be determined on what type of lot that you're building on in the elevations of your lot. Now on this one right here, I had to drop this right here slab because of the lot itself. We don't want to do too much grading, don't want to go too high. But I had to drop this right here, the main level garage. I had to drop that by a couple of had to drop that part down about a foot. Problem is, when you get over here, if these guys are basing these windows off the bottom, then the top is not going to line up all the way across. It's all the way across the house. But when you look at the elevations, you really pay more attention to the top part, make sure everything line up at the top. So this would mean that I will have these windows right here. And this is another reason why this is why I put my headers at the top instead of at the right here. You can kind of see right here. Because if you put it at the top, we don't have to do anything to that header. But we can cut this right here out and just raise the window up higher. I'll just take it out and then increase the bottom. Now they, and I don't know if anybody be adjusting windows on the inside, but it'll make it where everything line up. And that'll be something that I probably ask the homeowner too, because at this point when you got it like that, you got blinds, well not blinds, but if you want to open the windows up and stuff like that, it may be a little high. If you want to clean the windows and stuff like that, it may be a little high. But the house itself will look better if everything lines up at the top. So more people are going to be drawn to the top. Kind of walking by, just looking at everything. Guys, once again, I'm going to flip this bad boy around. We're trying to get those, you guys kind of see what they're getting ready to get these ceiling joists on. But guys, typically what I want to do is I want to come around here and kind of look at everything and look at the lumber that we got here. So they're gonna start doing all that. They probably have next couple of days, we may be able to get the ceiling joists up and then start on the next floor. So I may need another lumber package on site. Guys, remember, if you guys would like to, you like to see me turn this bad boy around and go into detail on a lot of this stuff, let me know, and you guys join the members channel. And I kind of go into detail. I had a friend of mine say that I was just giving away too much information on regular YouTube, which I somewhat agree with him a tad bit, guys. But it is what it is. Even if I'm giving you, even if I give you guys all the information about building, it's too much going on in building, guys, for someone to take the information that I give them on YouTube and actually go out here and try to build their own house. It's too much, man. It's way too much. I mean, it's more than enough that perplexes and bothers me. And I've been at this thing for a while. I understand a lot of the codes and stuff like that. And it's a lot of work. It's extremely a lot of work, man. I don't, now the bigger builders, just to be honest, so you got bigger builders, the production guys that comes in and build, they got plans that they have built. They may have one set of plans that they built that thing probably 30 times. So they perfected every time they build it. Now, if you're in a situation like that, you can probably, it's not as tough. But when you're doing custom work, guys, custom work is difficult. Well, we got nails down here. I don't know why. 2 3/8 here. So we probably need some 3-inch nails. But it's a really tough job, man. And this is not easy, man. This is not an easy job at all. You got to have the right people that's watching these guys, man, especially watching the money. Like I'm looking right here, nails on the ground. That's money. Pick them up. I don't think these are pass-a-low. These are not the ones that I'm buying, guys. So that ain't me. These are pass-a-low. That's for a different type of nail guy. So it's not gonna bother me as much. But this is a tough job, guys. Just saying. This is not easy. This is not for the. And then we looking at the building dynamic. What I'm sitting here talking about right now, guys, is the building dynamics. When you add the administrative, which is the business side of this right here stuff, guys, it's almost relentless, man. It's tough. This is a hard job, man. It's not an easy job at all. Okay, I'm gonna turn this thing around, guys. If you like more detailed content, you guys join the members channel. Once again, guys, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And this is the way. All right, guys, I'm gonna start right here in the basement. So what I'm looking at, guys, I'm just trying to make sure everything is working out. If you notice right here, we have 3 pieces of lumber right here, guys. This right here is really just a filler piece right here, but right here, guys, I'm gonna make sure that at least 2 of these guys right here, these are 2x6s, that's holding up this beam right here, at least 2 of them. Now, when you get this information on how much this beam is able to hold and how much lumber you need up under that beam, you're gonna go to the engineered plans. The plans will tell you this right here, and this is what you call bearing. This lumber up under it is called the bearing. You can look that up in the engineered plan, and it'll tell you exactly how much lumber should go up under there. Guys, in most cases, anything that goes on with this right here, and they would start popping these things when I get on this right here. But guys, all of this right here, we have a red line plan to explain this. It's gonna be extra loud now. But there are red lines that address all of this right here, guys. It addresses every last one of these beams, these hangers. And guys, you need to have a nail in every last one of these holes. So those are gonna be some of the things that I check. Make sure that, you know, in all these, there's a nail in every last one of these openings right here for those hangers. So I'm looking at that. Also, we have to have screws on the front side and the back side of this OSB. And guys, that's gonna be based on the engineered drawing. The engineered drawing tells you how many screws and where those screws should be placed on this 4-ply LVL beam. One thing that you wanna make sure of, guys, you wanna make sure that, so I had my metal guy to come in. What my metal guy did was he did my porch pan. He measured for my porch pan. He also measured for the handrails that go around here, because in this municipality, they want you to have handrails all the way around, as well as handrails right here. And I've already done videos on that right there, guys. I've done videos on why they make us have those handrails there, which I don't agree with, but this is the way this guy interprets the code. And in this case, because I built here before, I already know what's going on. So I was able to quote this right here and kind of have an idea of what the quotes were going to be to make sure that we get all this right here accounted for. So this is not a surprise for me, guys. There's, I think there's 1 or 2 beams, maybe one right there and another beam right here for the garage. I think there are 2 beams that goes across here that, you know, this spans so far, maybe about right here, and the other one span about right here. So we got 2 beams for that. You want to offset them so that this is not in the way of the beams. So this right here is just for temporary. We got these temporary posts that are going to hold this thing up until we get those beams in. Hopefully we can get them in here by next week sometime. Guys, I'm also kind of just going around looking at everything, guys. Once again, guys, this place got to get clean. So we got to make sure it's clean. I'm looking at the joists now, mid-span of this right here. So something else is going to happen with all these flooring joists. So at mid-span, we need to have some blocking all the way mid-span, all the way down this right here. And what that blocking does, it keeps these joists from twisting. It's kind of holds them together. You want, anytime you have flooring joists, you need blocking right in the middle of them. If you guys don't know what blocking is, look it up. That'll be some good details, some things that you can learn on your own. But yeah, we put a piece of 2x12 right between these right here in mid-span. So we'll have one going all the way down. But that'll be something that these guys, when they get closer to done, this will be what they, these will be some of the details they'll have to finish up. So also I'm kind of monitoring these cracks. I got a little stress crack here, but it comes back together, but I got a little stress crack right there. You know, just kind of looking at them, make sure they don't get too big. You know, guys, once again, you can't stop Can't stop this concrete from cracking. I'm looking at the, usually you get a crack on the inside corners right here, guys. I floated that rebar in here, so we'll watch that too. Last time I built the house, that's where I got my crack. Instead of over there, I got it right there. Looking at this right here, guys, I'm just trying to make sure that everything works out good. Now remember, what's gonna happen down in the basement, so I'm keeping all this stuff in here. We're probably gonna set the main unit down here. So we'll probably set that main unit down here somewhere. So we need to have a good place to set it, okay? So that we don't have to do, I don't wanna do too much furring in this area right here, because remember guys, anytime I fur anything, like your HVAC line, now you're gonna have to go under that beam here, guys. The HVAC has got to go under that beam. You can't drill through that beam. You don't want to drill through any of these right here, guys, either, the flooring joint. So we're gonna come up under here, maybe go up in here some kind of way, which is probably not that bad, guys. If I keep those guys close to the edges and then come out, we'll just have to revisit that when he get to doing. So guys, I'm thinking about all this stuff. I'm thinking about my HVAC. Matter of fact, I'm probably gonna call that guy and tell him to come on over here and try to get an idea of how we're gonna run this thing, man, so that we can be as efficient as possible. But not only being efficient, guys, you wanna make sure that the flow is one thing that makes your homeowner feel uncomfortable. It's airflow. Airflow and your unit. This is what we got here. So kind of going around here. Just kind of walking through this bad boy. Guys, and one thing you want to do, talk about a couple things. One thing you want to do too is we want to come here and you want to measure all the rooms. Measure all the rooms to make sure that they're getting the size that you have on those plans. Guys, you don't want them too big, you don't want them too small. Make sure they're getting the size that they're supposed to get based on the plans. We actually came back and fixed my 2 stud corners. Yeah, that thing was bothering me. You guys, I had to call the main framer to come in. He helped me out with it. This is what it should look like right here, guys. I know I think it's getting too bright here, but you can attach sheetrock here, sheetrock here. This is really just to grab sheetrock, but these are your 2 stud corners here. One of them is a 2x6, but this is what it looks like, 2 stud corners. And this is, guys, you can go in the code book. Actually, code says you can do it either way. But if we did the regular 3 stud corners, guys, you won't be able to insulate behind here, guys. You won't be able to get insulation behind here. A lot of times your framers, when they come in, the first thing they do is start making corners. And you don't want that, man. You want to make walls. So this is kind of what we're going through. I'm trying to walk through this bad boy and just, I've already kind of came through here and kind of watched I kind of looked at all the corners. I measured all the room sizes to make sure that they were consistent with the plans. Window openings, it's another thing. You want to make sure you get all the door openings correct. That's gonna come a little bit later. That's gonna be my punch out with them. This is scary, man. I need to get this fixed. It's always good when you done built the house. You guys can see all the bracing. Guys, you gotta have that bracing in place. I know it's tedious walking through, man, but it's all this bracing right here. All that stuff gotta be in place, man, to keep these walls stabilized until we get those ceiling joists up. Until we get all these joists up and in place and locked in place, you gotta keep this stuff braced up. You gotta have these braces in here. Keep this room 100% square if you can. Yeah, you gotta have this stuff in here, man. Now, eventually these same braces that we have, guys, we can take these things off and use it for the fascia material. So you don't want to just throw this stuff away. This is one reason I don't really set this dumpster right in here just yet. Because if they throw it in a dumpster because it got a lot of nails in it, I just lost that. We didn't know we could use it. So you want to keep that stuff in mind, man. You want to watch. Occasionally, guys, you want to go in here and you want to bang on the wall. See, he got to hit these nails, man. So I got to get back with him, and you can feel it, guys. If you hit it, you know whether or not you hitting these nails. This right here is what you call so this is another way. So sheetrock can be attached right here. You can slide the insulation around here to the other side. This is kind of what you want to see. It's a good idea. It just helps you keep the house more energy efficient. I just did a spray foam insulation job at a house I'm building for myself, guys. But if you really had your guys to install regular insulation the correct way, it will hold up just as good as it would be just as good as I would say almost just as good as spray foam insulation. Only good thing about the spray foam is you seal in the house too. So you're doing an air seal as well. But if they do it right, and guys, we'll do a whole clinic on insulation. It's just ain't enough to go through on insulation, but if they do it right, it's okay. All right, guys, see, this is how they used to do the corners right here, guys. You look at this right here. See, they noticed they hadn't used this right here. This is how they do the corners. They usually start doing the corners, and they just build them all on site, just like that. So if you put this up, yeah, you'll be able to do your corner, but you won't be able to insulate this after you get your OSB on. That's the catch. All right, guys. If you guys have any questions or anything that you guys want me to do content on as far as what these guys are doing, y'all let me know. I know, man, that's an OSHA violation right there. He's up that high. He don't have any fall arrest stuff on. Oh my God. Let me get out of here. All right, guys. You guys keep me posted. You guys have